Hey, hey. How you like that intro, dude?
I love it, man. We're gonna have to start being more professional around here.
Yeah, dude. What's cracking? Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. So,
Happy New Year.
welcome to the Mike and Joe PDR show. So that's what we tried it. We're transitioning to that right there. So it's not just the Dent Time podcast here, even though it was straight. It was created as the Dent Time podcast, and that is the roots of it. But we are the Mike and Joe PDR show. So hope you guys like the new name. We don't have a logo though, but hey, that works, right, Joe?
That works for me, man. I'm
So,
honored,
Mr.
Mike.
Tim Green, what's up, James Bernard? How you guys doing?
What's up, fellas?
So we got a few topics here, man. Like some of your top picks, three tools that are for the 2023. Um, I have some tools and maybe some things that helped change your kind of I would say what was some things that changed you, like really opened your eyes as a PDR tech or during your career. All right, so we can talk
Yeah.
about some of those things, right?
Yeah.
um I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward for 2023. 2022 was, I don't know, it's kind of a weird year for me. Like, it was busy, but it was weird. It was, I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. So, um, everything's positive though, guys. I mean, it's everything. You know what? I remember Joe getting my butt kicked at a dealership one day. I mean, I know we all have to, but this one particular, I was there, I think from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. I had to hurry up and turn in my ROs, dude. You know?
Yeah.
And POs, right? So I can get an RO. There you go. So
Yeah.
I remember going to the thing. He's all to the service part where he writes the POs, and he's like, "Hey, what's up with the sad face, man? Man, man, this today sucks, dude." I just remember saying, "It just sucks." He goes, Mike, every day's a good day. Just some days are better than others, man. And I go, hmm, okay, I guess I can go with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's it. You remembered it. It
I
stuck
did.
with you.
That was probably one of those turning moments, right? And I have more, but we're not going to get too crazy in. But I can remember those type of that helped me along my career. You know what I mean? There was days that I doubted that PDR was for me in the early days. I was thinking, well, I'm going to go to college. This is just going to be a crutch, get some side cash. It wasn't something I decided, oh, I want to be a PDR tech. I want to be a tech, you know,
Right.
and those days were really, really hard. And
Okay.
I'm sure if you've been in the business, you've heard of other PDR techs saying that, especially if you've been in the business 15 years. 15 years ago was just starting the point, right, Joe?
Yes.
So I don't
Yeah.
want to ramble up. I haven't even given you a sentence, dude. Go ahead.
No, that's fine, man. We can make this a counseling
I'm a
session if
mic
you
hog
want, dude.
sometimes, dude, So
Yeah, dude.
and I'm
Just lay
stopping
on the
this in
couch and
2023. I don't drink regular soda. I drink I drink Coke Zero. Yeah, okay. Call it a freaking cheat thing, but yeah, I'm back. I fell off the wagon, bro. I was a sodaholic, and this is the closest thing I could come to soda. In 2022, I started the drinking this, dude. I gotta get
Mhm.
the heck off this, dude, because this is going to lead to regular soda, dude.
I'm sorry to tell you, Mike. Coke Zero is subpar, brother. Subpar. I mean, if you're gonna do it right. Just drink the real Coca-Cola. Here's what I do. All right. I did the same thing as you, and because the corn syrup is what's gonna get you in there. It's not good, and it creates
Is that corn syrup in
like
here?
I think so. And if I'm not mistaken,
I
it's
can't,
just no
that's what I said. I
sugar.
gotta jump off that, dude. Like
Well,
yeah.
too much of that creates kidney stones, and you don't want kidney stones, bro. That's no fun, from what I understand. So,
My hole
but
ain't big enough, dude.
get the little Cokes, get the little baby Cokes, like little 8 ounce, and one of those with a meal is perfect.
Okay.
And then just water the rest of the time, man. Water and a coffee in the morning and a little bit of
2023,
whiskey at
gentlemen.
night.
I'm
You're good to
out
go.
because this is done. Sorry, Coca-Cola. You cannot be sponsored no longer on my show anymore. Here's your last sponsor.
Nah, man. Enjoy yourself, Mike.
Yeah, but I'm,
All in
listen,
moderation, right?
I can't enjoy myself too long, bro. I mean, like I looked at myself in the video the other day from the back. And I go, gosh, where'd that gray hair wig come from, man? What the heck, dude? I thought I had brown hair, dude.
It's shocking.
Yeah. They're like a freaking gorilla, dude. Silverback, dude.
Silverback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed in my videos that my hair's starting to recede a little bit. So I'm working on with Rogaine,
Some sprinkles.
People are saying, I think you're well beyond receding hairline, Joe. So, all right, I'll shut
up. Hey, mine's still there, dude. Check it out. But hey, I don't know about the back part, dude. I think they're starting a cul-de-sac going back in there, dude.
Stop showing off, dude. You're just showing off, bro.
Nah, dude, I don't wear my hair out very much, dude. It's just, I feel like it gets worse. What's up, everybody? We're just kind of bullcrapping just a little bit here because it's kind of a holiday podcast for us, and we're just we don't mean to ramble on, but you know what? This is a podcast, man.
Alan Johnson says, "Don't fight it, boys. Just go with it, right, Alan?"
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's like ESPN, dude. Like he does the highlights. It goes, your hair goes, it's going back. So, dude, Portugal, everybody joining us. Thank you very much. Portugal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here.
Okay, let's read the comments here. We got in here. We got Tim Green, James Bernard. What's up? Ron Torres from One Shot Paintless Dent Repair. SoCal boy, welcome. Josh Dragos, thank you for joining us. Manuel Artiaga, thank you for joining us. Who else we got? Glenn Gaddies, thank you. Alan Johnson, Danny D. What's up? Danny, Luis.
This is because not only am I a freaking client, I'm the president, dude. Not only the president, I'm a client, right? That back in the day, dude.
The hair club.
Hey, I've been lucky hats don't do it because I probably wore hats probably 95% of my whole life, dude. So I just been doing that. So all right, gentlemen. What do you want to start with first? You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the show is titled today the 3 must-have dent repair tools of 2023. And when you first sent me that topic, Mike, earlier this week, I was wondering, does Mike want me to say the must-have tools, like generally what everybody should have, or what Joe Garcia should have this in 2023? So, I'm going to go with what I need, because I have pretty much everything I need, man, but there are some things and kind of within the custom realm that I think are going to, really up my game even more. And then there's one item that I think that I have not gotten, I've yet to use, and that you can buy it at I think Anson PDR sells them, and if I'm not mistaken, an A1 must have. I've used it at your shop, Mike, and that is the Dent Reaper crease tab. That little bastard pulls really hard, and I need to just order them and get them. So that's my first must-have PDR tool for 23.
So, what did you like? Why is it so good for you, though? Give me a scenario here.
Yeah. So, I really grown to really like the way the purple Dent Reaper octagon tabs, particularly the biggest one of the 3 octagon sizes that they have. They have a tiny one and then one in the middle, and then one, I think it's a 14 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those are pulling pretty good. Very precise pulls. But when I use the clear, I don't know if they're clear anymore, but you had a clear one. It might've been a prototype, but from Dent Reaper, I used it at your shop, and we were able to pull really hard with that. It pulls a bit harder, in my opinion, than the octagon tabs. if I remember correctly. I don't think it's quite as flexible, but it pulls along the lines of like the gangrene black plague tabs, the green ones that are really strong pulls. They're not. It's not going to replace my gangrene tabs by any means, but it's equivalent to that, and just a little bit more on the accurate, like precise side. When I want a muscle pull, I'll use my gangrene tabs, and if I really want a hard pull there. But with the Dent Reaper crease tab, I found that not only did it pull very hard, it pulled very accurately. So, and even on a body line, that's where I first used it, and that's where I was really impressed with it. So, that's going to be a must-have tool for me.
Yeah, and obviously the whole new crease tabs in general now. I mean, not crease tabs; they're tabs in general have a thicker shaft now. And
yes,
dude, you're using the heaviest slide hammer I've ever seen anybody use on a dinky tab, dude, and you weren't breaking them. You were
they were not
slamming those things, dude.
Yeah, they were not breaking. The most that happened is they did bend a little bit. And that was only when like Josh Drago says here, he broke one, but when he pulled it wrong. And same thing here. Like when I pulled to the side a little bit, like for whatever reason, I might have lost my balance, or I was just trying to, pry it off because it wouldn't let go of the panel.
Yeah.
And then I bowed it out a little bit. But other than that, the new shaft on the purple hex tabs at Dent Reaper, they're thicker, so they last longer. I have yet to break one. And we pulled hard, like you said, with the Kiwi slide hammer, and repeatedly on a hill car, like over and over and over. And they really withstood the test.
Yeah, Glenn, you're gonna be, if you don't already have those are definitely the way to go for aluminum tabs right there.
Yeah, you're right, Glenn.
But surprisingly, the Anson tabs are pretty good too. The new ones that they have, dude. So the new orange tabs that they have. So
okay,
those are pretty good. I don't know, those are pretty new on the market, and I've been pulling with those. And obviously, Reaper tabs, gangrene tabs are one of my favorites. The Kiko dead center tabs. I mean, I think those are one of the top 5 tabs that I use a lot. I know there's a few out there, other ones I probably are not mentioning, but I just seem to gravitate to that brand the most when I'm glue pulling. Specifically, I was always using my, I felt like Reaper tabs before they thicken the shafts were my, like, when you're playing a video game and you got like 2 good bombs, what I mean? And you only want to use them when you're really trapped, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have nothing else left. You tried everything, and then boom, it just gets you out of trouble. That's how the Reaper tabs work. Now you don't have to worry about that scenario anymore now, based on what
You're absolutely right, Mike, because I had bought like 4 packs of them, and I brought them over to down to your shop when we did that BMW back in I think it was October, the hill car. And I thought, yeah, we're going to rip right through these. And I didn't even realize at the time that they were the thicker shaft. So right on.
Yeah. All right. So what's mine? Okay. I'm not going to waste any time with mine. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to present me. You guys probably see me do a video on it. I haven't got my freaking fingers on it though. It's supposed to be arriving sometime. I have to call them and see when it's supposed to. It's either arriving this week or next week. But let's share my screen here. Let's go. This one. This is what. Can you guys hear that? Or see?
Yeah.
That tower is money. That's going to be really good for, I would 100% for a shop owner. I feel like that tower right there is the bee's knees, as far as capabilities of maneuvering, storage, capabilities of being able to pull dents in any scenario around the shop. Is it going to be something for a mobile tech guy? I think if he has the room, if he has a storage, if he has a tall van, he could probably use that. I heard that they are trying, like, he's going to, like retrofit that later on for a mobile kind of setup. So, but that's a must-have tool, I believe, for me personally in 2023, and anybody who doesn't already have something of this system already. So
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, Mike. When I first saw it, I was like, "Wow, yeah." This because I had seen he was using the suction cup, right? That is like a super heavy duty suction cup that. So I guess it holds suction on a like rough concrete, right?
yeah,
Like it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth surface.
it does. And I'm trying. Glenn says, how much space does it take? It could fit in the corner very easily. It rolls around. I mean, we're talking like a small, tiny 2x4, like 2 feet by 2 feet wide maybe, and it would like be a small cabinet in the corner. I mean, very very easy to maneuver. So that's how small it is, Glenn. So that's what you're thinking. Let me see what Vicente is saying. Any of you have the Prism Hail Tab Master Variety Pack 20 tabs? If so, feedback. I haven't even heard of that, dude. Of course, Vicente's he's the encyclopedia, dude, of PDR. Send me a link, Vicente. See if you can send me a link, maybe I'll share it here.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. And
Since
that
we're
goes for
doing
all
it
you
live.
guys. Share your must-haves too, because that's how we get this information too, quite frankly.
Does it break down for mobile? Yeah, you can. That tower does come apart. So yeah, you could use that for mobile, Glenn. But that I was thinking the tower should be, well, it can. Yes, it can. I'm sure you guys with nice vans could fit that in there easy. So
My only concern with that one, Mike, is that rubber suction cup. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty heavy duty, but it seems like it might be high maintenance at some point, don't you think? Like using enough times. I mean,
time will tell, right? Time will tell. I have the plate that actually sucks down to the ground, right? But I'm
yeah.
missing the tower part that he has. I haven't had any problems with it lately, but I guess that's going to depend on the how well a technician keeps that pad, that foam that goes around it.
Okay.
So, look, I think you and I were talking about this the other day, dude. This is we're seeing the beginning of these towers, dude. I think we're just starting to see the beginning of these portable towers and the capabilities of people being able to send that to I can't click on that, Vicente. Can you send it to my messenger and I will copy the URL, please? Thank you.
Reed Anderson says he thinks he is talking about the Black Plague's new tabs. So I guess Keith.
Oh yeah,
Must
I
be
do see
with
the
new
URL
tabs.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll just click on that URL. You guys can probably just go there and check that out. Go to Black Plague. But if I get the link, since they send it to my messenger, I will click on it and then share that link. Joe, what's your other one, man?
Okay, well, since you brought up the tower, I was going to save that for my last one, but I got another tower that looks uh, it looks somewhat promising. I think with a few adjustments. I sent you a link to it. I found it on accident on eBay, like when I was searching PDR tools, and I told you a while back, Mike, when you sent me a footage of that awesome looking Cam Auto suction cup tower, and
Yeah.
we had mentioned like that'd be great if you're in a shop. What can we have that's a little bit more slim and compact for mobile, because I'm mobile, and I've told you in the past that I'd like to see something done with either like the perfect pool tower that we used this past week when I was
Yeah.
down at your place. I'd like to see that gentleman evolve that device a little bit to maybe make it a little more compact, but also incorporate like a floor jack with it. That way you can just put it right underneath the car, like the body of the car, and just jack it up enough that it holds in place.
tension right there, and you can use
Yeah,
the pole itself right there like that
right.
on very much. Yeah.
Or a plate or that same end, could have a plate where you can just if your dent that you're pulling is on the arch of the wheel arch, you can just park the tire, the wheel of the car right on top of it to hold its,
Yeah, almost like
pressure on it.
you could put a bottle jack, like kind of like right there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
something
I
like
mean?
that. And so I found this thing on eBay, and I think
Can we
it's
pull it up?
yeah, sure, go for it. It's available
Okay.
like overseas, and it's this little weird little device. Um, I'm either going to get that, and
This
my
is
concern.
this is what you're describing, basically.
Yes, this is what I described to you, and after not even having seen it, but now then I find it today when I was looking online, and like sure as heck, somebody has developed that. But my concern with it is how close the tower is to the car. I'd like to see that extended back a little bit so that you can put, you can get a little bit further, get it a little bit further away from the car so you can work the metal, and you can use, extra devices. You even maybe something with a winch puller,
$500,
a
huh?
built-in winch puller on it,
Well, how's
So
it
when you're
stay stable, dude? Let me see. I'm like, okay, so it's like what I'm concerned with is this little edge down here, like right. I don't know if you can see my screen,
yeah,
but
I could
yeah,
see it,
I'm concerned with this right here.
like it tipping over side to
Yeah,
side.
like
Yeah, you might.
why doesn't it have something like why this looks like it would? I don't know if I would trust it. Well, I guess you just need, you know what it is? I guess you just need it to be stable enough, but it doesn't look, I don't know. I guess I'd have to see, this, this looks like everyone's idea in one, dude, right? Because you got the pogo stick kind of scenario right here. You got the lift up, your idea that you were talking about right here. This is just the concerning part of the side, like tipping over. So,
Yeah.
um, but
Yeah, it's
this is
possible,
super interesting.
Yeah, it's nice and compact too. So, I mean, I've been doing a lot of tension pulls, Mike, and mostly perpendicular, um,
I
and it
just
would be
did one
nice to have
today.
something like that. Did you?
I did a lateral tension pull with the Kiko thing. I videoed the whole thing.
All right
Um,
on.
totally friggin' made a difference again, dude. Very, very difficult dent, but I was done in about 2 hours, dude. So that gives you like how fast dude, that thing would have took me 6 hours generally.
Yes.
So, and I wasn't trying to show off or anything like that. I didn't do it live because every time I do something live like that, I get jinxed. So I'm not doing that. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, this looks, hmm,
It looks interesting, or even maybe a little promising. I probably will end up picking one up at some point and customize the heck out of it,
I
chop
see how
it.
this works. This is flat on the other side. So this keeps it more stable right
Right.
here. Okay. I got
Right.
it.
So the stability is under the car, but you may be right. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe it needs more stability out towards the back,
Uh,
but I would like to extend it further back or see someone in our industry develop that, something like that even further. Like I said, I mentioned the perfect pool tower. I think that was a great beginning, but we're in the midst, guys, of an evolution here of tension pool, and we haven't seen the end of this yet. It's evolving, and because this is stuff that's been used in the collision industry for eons, and that's evolved as well. But in PDR, we need to be able to not just do these monster pulls, but we have to do the refinishing work. So it's a little bit more finesse and a little more refined. It's really exciting time to see this stuff evolve.
I,
So
I
I
love
want
it. Key says, I like that. We knock off the Chinese parts, dude. So
to see. You know it, Keith.
this is
We'll do it.
what I just tell you, like you and I are talking about, this is the infancy of pullers. And here's this version, right? Like you and I were talking about the perfect pull, right?
Yes.
A lot of people don't give that guy a lot of credit, man, because he's actually the first one that put something out there. Yes, it is heavy. It is big. It is, all everybody's saying it's this and it's that, but it worked for the most part. It worked. Was it created for a giant collision stuff? What we're doing? No, I don't think that's his intentions. His intentions were straight pulls on doors, getting them better, helping you assist with what you're doing. But now you're getting into the heavier dutier pulls, the more capable, because if you want to pull from an angle, sometimes it would move to the left or right. Is this one going to be capable of? I'm just saying thanks to that he's the one that pushed it out there. Now everyone else is coming out with their type of pullers. And before that, it was the body shop, right? It was the frame straightening. Look how huge those were. Now we're microing it down to here. Look at Keith. He's on here. Somebody told him that we're doing it. Keith never comes on here when we're talking about him, dude, unless somebody chirped in his ear over there.
Yeah.
Which I think if I'm reading the comments, it looks like Joshua friggin' said something to him. So appreciate you letting Keith know that we have a podcast once a year.
We're glad to have you in here, Keith.
Keith, how you doing, man? I've been talking to Keith here and there on certain things. So yeah. So I mean, I think the money now is like, okay, which compact puller is going to help the mobile tech? Because let's face it, dude, the mobile tech is the one that's doing probably about 70% of those repairs out there in the business now. So yeah, I was designing my next yacht. I bet you were.
His next yatchet, as
Shane you were, Keith. So love the innovations of the pullers. Okay, so this is pretty cool, Joe. And for $500, bro, $500. Let me X out here. Let's see what they want for this. Shipping though. Okay, let's add the shipping though, dude. $272. Okay. So you're looking at 700. Let's just call it 800 after you pay tax, dude. It comes from China. So, and you're going to get it if you order it now, you'll get it between January 17th and January 24th. So sometime before MTE, just in time. All right, cool.
I personally think it needs more development though.
I do too.
I think it needs to be further back from the car, like I said. And then I'd like to see some, like a winch puller.
Can you adjust it? It looks like you can adjust that because look at this right here. So you got some like distance, right? If you wanted to. Looks like it's got like you can pull it out further if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I think you could pull it up or down, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it does adjust outward. I can't tell. It's pretty vague, their description of it,
They don't have a video of it, right? They don't know.
I didn't see a video. Jack Bucknell asks, does it say how much pulling power it has? And I didn't see anything like that, Jack. And I think this is mostly going to be for, tension pulls as opposed to like, we've been asking a lot more of these machines lately, like with structural pulls, like you would do on a frame puller. But that may be the next level of PDR shops, is having a small frame machine inside.
Well, let's look at this one, dude. Check this out, dude. Like I'm just observing what I saw right underneath there, right? Look at this one.
Now look at that.
Gosh, they want to sell something, and do you think they could have come out and took a worse picture?
That's the car business for you.
I mean, come on, man. Like you're selling a product, dude. Like, do you want us to buy it or freaking complain about it? I mean, dude, give me some better photos. give me a video. Like, I like the concept. I like that. That's pretty cool. Pulling down, tapping.
Yeah. That's a common thing we see, right? People put the jack under the rocker panel, and customers want us to pull it out.
Now, what's that got to do with that one? Oh, there's knockoff Kiko stuff.
Okay, so I think they're selling the centipede tab, like a knockoff centipede tab, like Jack just said.
Are they selling the centipede tab or the freaking? Yeah. Oh, they're not selling.
I don't think it's the puller.
Damn, dude. All right. Okay. Oh, I want to see that. I want the puller. Who cares about that tab thing, dude? So, anyways, okay, that's cool. That's a good. It's a good find, dude. Like I don't know if I'd buy it though, because I don't think it looks ready in my eyes, dude.
Well, I had thought like just using my floor jack with some kind of attachment,
You
you
would probably
know,
modify that, wouldn't you?
locked in. Oh yeah, I'd have Brandon chop it up for us, and you know, weld an
Loophole,
extension. Yeah,
loophole,
make a
Brandon.
chopper. Yeah, loophole Brandon, MacGyver.
Yeah. Innovation of polars. I do too. Jack, welcome, dude. How you doing, man? Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year, Jack.
Did it say how much pulling power? I don't know. I'm going to put the links up too in the later in the descriptions, guys. So I will. I guess I can. Can I put it in the? Well, you guys will should be able to click on it there. It did not that I know of. Looks like a centipede tab. Yeah. So is it my turn or your turn or which one is it, dude?
Yeah, it's your turn. But Matthew Phillips asks, "What's this about?" Well, Matthew, to answer your question, it's about the Mike and Joe's 3 PDR tools of 2023, must-have tools. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, Ching Wang. Okay. Yeah, I guess where can I make that more obvious? I guess I'll have to put it even more. You know what I'm going to do is change that in that background there too. So just to make sure. Evening. What's up, Thomas? How you doing, man? Okay.
What's up, Thomas?
No, he won't, man. I've been trying to bug him all year. He won't freaking budge, man.
Sorry, Jack.
We're gonna have to freaking kidnap him, dude. So
one of these
no,
days.
not power tools, Matthew. We're talking about PDR tools, man. So different ones. So I know, Mike, we will be okay. Cool. Well, I will. Yeah, I'll be there. Okay, so let's talk about
yeah, I think Matthew, I don't know if you're in PDR, Matthew. This is about paintless dent removal tools. We're talking about must-have tools.
Yeah.
We first mentioned the Dent Reaper crease tab. I had really good luck with that. I'm going to be ordering some of those this year. Also, Mike mentioned the Cam Auto Power Pool Tower suction cups to the ground, even rough concrete. And then I mentioned this little puller device from on eBay that I found that I think with further development could be pretty promising in the future.
So here's the thing about PDR tools, man. When it's all about convenience, which I'm going to get to my other point about my tool that I'm going to talk about, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about still talk about pullers, right? Mm-hmm. If it's going to take you a lot longer, but you can still get you're going to get really good results. I still think techs don't want to do it because it takes time to set up. They're fast. They're in a hurry. They're trying to get things done. Wham, bam. Thank you, man. They not in like they don't care about the quality of the work, but I don't think they really are willing to take a long time to set up to do it. You know, maybe to save themselves 30% of the time at the end. I don't see it that way. The reason why is because I feel that way myself, right? Joe?
Yeah, I do too.
You're an invested repair technician. I work with you. We've done some big jobs together. Lately, we did a Tesla. We stayed up till 2:30 in the morning, dude. There were moments there where I was like, forget it. Let's just do this. You stayed true to what you wanted to do, right? But I'm saying in general, most techs are like me or even worse. Okay. They like, there's a perfect pull. I'm not going to use the perfect pull right now. It's too much hassle. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take my chances struggling on this technique. What I'm trying to get at is that if these towers and these tools get more convenient, it's going to be a winner. Like, think about, would you still use it yourself? Would you use that tool if it's going to be quick and efficient? So of course you would. That's the win. That's what makes the tool so great. So convenient, effective, fast, right? So what I'm saying at my tool, and unfortunately it's not a PDR tool, ladies and gentlemen. Look, everything's going video today now, you guys. We see that, right? I think the one of the parts about a tool is to help you build your business. It's not just a tool itself in PDR, but it's video cameras or video apps or video something that will help you gain better. And my other one, Joe, you mentioned, is my 3-camera setup. And it's not just a 3-camera setup, it's a wireless 3-camera, high definition 1080p setup.
Yes,
It
sir.
can go live to any platform you want, or you can completely record it enclosed. You can record every camera by itself, or you can record it all at once, do different picture in picture. If you want to see that, it's on my Facebook page. I did one there, and it saves to your phone. Now, can you shoot it in portrait mode? You could, if you don't do it live. You can pre-record it, shoot it in portrait mode, have an awesome three multicam, but then you take it in post and you flip it in post, and then it'll be perfect that way. Or you can just keep it the same way, put it on your YouTube format, and then re-crop it. And you probably see me do it on my Instagram, where I took my old videos. I will zoom that one part up and then show the full shot in the top view of my Instagram. So there's some workarounds, and regardless, it really helps you build your brand, makes you look really professional, really easy, because there's certain things, and I'm not saying it's good for you teaching your clients, but it's actually good for actually educating your clients about what you do and branding yourself. So if you're getting into the video part, those cameras are cool. It's called a Mevo multicam. So check it out. And I look out for some things that they'll probably do some stuff for the portrait mode, stuff like that. So I'm going all in on live next year in 2023. I think that's one of the futures. And it's just in video, man. I think I am so freaking excited for video about where it's at right now, the platforms.
Yes. Jack Bucknell asks, what's it called again? Your
Mevo
camera?
multicam.
Mevo.
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 Okay. So Davo even says it too. So
Yep.
100% on the live. So if you've been paying attention, which I've already kind of knew, man, there's Gary V. He's even saying it. And I watch him every once in a while, but I watched him lately, and he's like, dude, Facebook, your page for like Facebook at Dent Evo, Facebook at Dent Time, those pages they're like, Meta is all in, dude. They're trying to get people to stay on your stuff. So they're really pushing your videos out there. So if you have been kind of ignoring that a little bit, remember, it's also SEO friendly for your stuff too, as well, for your business. So if you're kind of not paying attention to that, and you're paying more attention to TikTok and not that, just make sure you keep your wheel balanced. That's all I'm saying. Just don't snub one platform because the other one's giving you all the attention, so just make sure you pay attention to that. So
that's great advice, Mike. I think that's why we do these things, right? Because that's a whole other take on PDR tools, yet it's a PDR tool. It's probably the most important because it's our way of communicating to the public. So that I'll be adding that to my arsenal as well.
I think we all need to do the PDR 30 challenge again, because I've been, my thing is getting ideas and being unique, trying to be like, I want to do something fun, something I know I'll be able to keep doing, right? And then and this is just me, guys, don't think like me, but when I start doing something, I get a little kind of tired of what I've been doing. So I will stop, rest, write down some thoughts about how I want to create a more of an engaging viewer experience for my clients, and obviously the PDR viewers too. I mean, that's cool, but mainly it's just really to help build the trust with the clients. So, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we're trying to do, and the lives, I think that's the future, because we've talked about it so many times in other episodes, keeping the viewers engaged, breaking the scroll, keeping them engaged into what you're trying to say. You know, I watched you do a video the other day, a live video, Mike, and you were working on that red, like 84 Carrera on the quarter panel, and you had a couple cameras set up, man, and you had a picture in picture, and that was just
Wait,
that. I think that's going to be
let's take a look at that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go
If
for
you
it.
don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's I mean, seeing not just the point of view of the dents actually coming out, and you did all of this, mind you, in 23 minutes, dude, 23 minutes, and yet and that's a lifetime if you're posting a real, just a regular video post, right? But for a live, 23 minutes isn't that long, you know. And the other thing is that I believe that viewers are engaged even more because maybe they want to see you mess up, or maybe there's that element of like, hey, this guy is live right now. This is the real deal, the real thing, unedited, unabridged. He's doing it, and there's your point of view, and that would be enough in itself, right? But you go ahead and you bring in later on in the video a picture in picture, and
Yeah,
that's there you go, of you showing
live,
you working on it,
live.
So, yep.
Now, imagine if I had access to the backside of that tool, because not just obviously PDR techs want to know, what are you doing? Like, how are you, what's the access like? Well, clients want to know, what are you doing to that backside? How's that tool working behind that panel? Um, I mean, just think of of all the possibilities, and keep in mind that's wireless. That's wireless, right? You see, if you want to take a look at the camera right in front of. Actually, I'm going to go back to the Facebook. Look at in the beginning. Look at the camera right in front of me. Look how small it is. You barely even notice it. Let me go right there. Okay. Look how tiny that camera is, dude. And I'm using like a little lock line to hold it. It's skinny. It's small. And the camera is fantastic. I thought it was going to be junk. Honestly, I was taking a chance buying it. And I was like, well, if I don't like it, it doesn't show the footage that I like, I'm sending it back. But it is so convenient. And by matter of fact, this is a cropped, like you're allowed to crop in. It doesn't have zoom, like you can't zoom the camera, but you can crop and it'll crop in for you. And then you can save that crop as a different scene.
Yes.
Okay. So pretty powerful, man. Like and you can
Absolutely.
output it to 1080p. Generally, I output it to 720. It seems to be working, like it works really good. Okay.
Yes,
so if I'm not saying everybody, well, I don't want to do live like this, Mike. This is not something I want to do. But some techs want to do that. You're outside. Look how engaging it would be if you had a multi-camera showing your hood stand, right? You don't have to keep taking your tripod and moving it over here and moving it over there. Dude, yes. It's almost like you have your own camera crew on you, dude.
That's right.
And so that's what makes it so cool, and easy to do. So
that's right. Yeah, that's awesome, Jack. Jack says, dude, if you had all three cameras going, one behind the dent, one out, and one on the dent, that would be insane footage to watch. Yes, sir. That's exactly what we were talking about the other day, Mike. Like if you could have the third one inside the panel, so that imagine the consumers, seeing this, and they, as far as how often do you guys get a call from a prospect? And they have no idea. This is 2022, man. In 2023, they have no idea how dent repair is done, because the only information they have, it's so limited. They just see before and afters, and that's what we're talking about. Like Jack said, if you could get one on the inside there, and because even if you mess up, because that's what the next question I was going to ask, Mike. What if you mess up on one of these lives? Even if you mess up, dude, you're doing it. And you can't fault a guy, and I think that you're going to get, there's nothing more authentic than showing in real time you working on what you do,
Yeah. James Bernard was giving you a comment there. Right there. So he says, just got home. Thank you, Joe, for that idea. We just also do wheel repairs. So we have a long reach. Jack's with us all the time. So I just need to find some type of sliding collar to attach to my jack handle. I wish I have a tower. Thanks again.
Heck yeah. That's a great idea. James. I think that's awesome. Yeah, the long, he's talking about those long extended jacks, floor jacks, man. If you
Yeah.
have one of those, and then the handle itself, use that as the tower, you know.
Yeah. Jack, I agree with you. I think there's a way around that though, and for everybody, it's like we create these, you know, we create this one cool video. And we're like, okay, that's it, man. I hope people pay attention to that video because that's the video. I said it already. I don't need to do another one. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Yeah.
You have to keep hitting that point home. Why do you think I do so many light little door ding stuff? I mean, that's not, I wouldn't say a cakewalk repair because it's really tight and it had that sound deadening behind that really thick rhino lining sound stuff, but I was fighting that. But anyways, nonetheless, I was commentating, right? I was showing like the involvement in the repair. I mentioned the cost in the repair, right? So I'm educating, I'm prepping my clients about the process is, and it's done in real time, done in full real time, explaining it as if the client was sitting there watching me. I'm trying to have a conversation, but he's not talking. That's how you got to think about when you're doing a videos. Think about they're paying you to fix their car. They're watching you and they ask you one question and maybe they ask you another question, but it's not on video, right? You're just rambling back on what more clients talk to you about. That's why I do my videos the way I do it, because these are the questions that get asked a lot. So I try to always reiterate what they're thinking. How much does it cost? What's the light for? What do those tools do? What are you doing behind the dent? Well, sometimes I can say that. What look at the different tools that you're using. I thought you use suction cup. I thought, oh, you do use heat, but you use it for a total different way than I thought you use it. So those are the questions and all those little things that were being answered to that 20-minute video.
Yeah.
So, but I made it, what makes it engaging, Joe? I switched angles, didn't I?
Yes.
So giving them a perspective of the scene, not just of one analog shot the whole time.
Yes, because then it's like you're watching grass grow.
Right. Right.
Especially when you figure like the consumer, they're not privy to what they're seeing in that reflection with the lines or the fog or whatever reflection you're using. They're not really privy to what they're seeing that's happening there, but that's a perfect opportunity for, you know, fodder there or whatever they, you know, like content, like something to talk about. So what you're seeing here is where these lines pinch together, that's, you're seeing movement in the dent coming out, you know, and so you can explain that in there. And yeah. And I think that's something that, I mean, it comes over time, right? The comfort level, your comfort level of being in front of the camera and working in front of the camera. And then, you know, imagine how powerful you're going to be after you do that enough times in 2023 and in your market. You're going to be a hero in your own market, man. You know, people are going to just refer to you as the authority, which is what we all want.
I have a feeling they're going to really push live videos, dude. Live. And then repurpose the content, right? You can repurpose the content too as well. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to do it live, that Mevo. And to answer your question, Glenn, they claim 5 to 6 hours. I've gotten at least a good 5 hours on there. Okay.
Right on.
You can also put a little power brick on there and you can power it at the same time as you're filming. So if you feel like you're going to run out of battery, it's a USB-C, put a little power bank on there. It doesn't have to be a big one and it'll keep that thing running plenty of power, and it's still very nimble. So just you have a lot of different ways to promote yourself that way. So, and you can take it anywhere. You know what I mean? You're not tied with all these cords, dude. So
yeah, they're tiny.
So videos, thank you for pushing me to get me into more clientele. Keep it short and sweet. Thanks, Quentin. Appreciate you, man. Let's see, did I skip anyway? I think oh, sorry, I did right here. 30 years ago, the industry didn't want people knowing how it was done, even the body shops. That's right, Ryan. 100%. I still think it's that way though too. I think PDR techs who are unfortunately who are insecure, it's mainly the older techs you know, the kind of in the dark. I think there are still people out there, but I think a majority of people understand that it's necessary to educate clients out there how it's done. Well, hey, here's my tool, man. I'll tell you what, I'll pay you $500 if you can make that dent go away half.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right. Right. Yeah.
Let's have a bet here. But if I win, you're going to pay me 1,500, dude. So I mean,
That's
come on,
right.
let's do that. So, and
That's
I'm
right.
not being cocky or arrogant or anything like that, but I think that our fault is that we were so secretive in the beginning of those decades that people had no choice but to guess at how much it was, because we made it look really easy for a long time without saying anything. Without
Yes.
saying anything. So more videos like that. And I encourage you guys to try to educate you're educating your clients. You're not teaching them how to do PDR. You're educating them. So there's a lot of
Absolutely.
details in that video I left out. So
Ryan's correct on that, because I mean, 30 years ago, we were all in fear of loss, fear of losing the goose that laid the golden egg. And we weren't giving ourselves and PDR enough credit, I think, because it is hard. It is hard to do it right. Even a small dent can be very complex and difficult and tough to do. But we're in the age of transparency now, Mike.
mhm.
That's what social media has brought, is like this extreme transparency. So if we don't do it, if we don't show how challenging this process can be, and in the so many different scenarios that, I mean, that you can have in one day of PDR, if we don't show that, how difficult it can be, your competitor is going to show how easy they make it look, easy by doing the magic wand thing. And I just fixed it, and I fixed it in an hour and a half. And it's just, we need to show what we're doing, and thus show the value of it, because I think it's then when we can justify our costs, the
Yeah.
price that's attached.
Going back to Jack, and then we'll go down and get these questions
Yes.
out. That's why we do these live, so you guys can comment. You guys bring up some good points, and like Jack says, it's a great feeling. He needs to start saying more on pricing in his content, videos, pictures, and everything like that. So I'm telling you, Joe and I 2 years ago were saying, okay, let's just start doing this. He said, I'm going to start doing it. I was like, I'm going to do it too, right? And Joe's like, oh, I don't know if you should do that, Mike. You're going to lose some customers. And I said, no. I believe he was right. I probably lost some clients like that, but I believe I've gained way more a different brand of clients than I used to. Right, high dollar, high ticket clients who come to me. Guess what? I had one come from Orange County today, so 50 miles away.
Yep.
One from Fontana, which is what, 60 miles, 65 miles away.
That's awesome.
Today.
Dude. Yeah.
Where'd they see me? Instagram, YouTube.
That's right.
You can't tell me that your social media won't work. You know why? But they didn't argue price. They didn't even have Joe, they came and showed up, didn't even didn't even ask for a price, dude. Right?
Those were your customers, Mike.
Yeah.
And that's how you get your customers. That's what our episode was on last week, right? It was or whatever the last one was how to get the customer that you want. How do you get it? By being transparent, by showing what you're doing,
by telling the public what that costs. Now, here's a word of advice. I don't recommend you saying exactly what that dent costs, because 10 years from now, someone's, well, I had the same dent and you charged this. Give a range, but tell why you're giving a range. This is the cost as of 2023. This is the range for this, right? Kind of lets them know that, hey, well, it's probably going to be higher now because it's 2027 now, right? That was 4 years ago when you did that video. So think about that. That's the only thing you got to, be careful of that. You just don't want to say this cost this much. And if you have a dent like that, you don't want to say it like that. Okay.
Well,
this is a general idea.
I've showed the exact price many times, and I still do on some of my posts.
Your big ticket ones, yes.
And the captions.
Yeah.
But you can always resort to the date, because everything's time stamped, Mike. Everything shows the time. I mean, look where we're at in 2022, the end of 2022 compared to 2019, right? I mean, everybody understands everything costs more now than it did just a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
You know, inflation, man. And but not only that, like when you're there's a way to explain it, you know, and if you have your ducks in a row with a pricing guide, and in my case, I put my prices on my website. I have a page just dedicated to pricing, and half the time, most of the time, that's what I send to my prospects if they have any question about the price. I can send them the link, and they
Yeah.
can go see. They see the price guide right there. They can see videos of dents, you know, that of similar nature, and even costs that were less 3 years ago. But the thing is, my costs 3 years ago were higher than a lot of these knuckleheads around me are charging today. So I'm still good with those, you know? I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm considered the
Joe, tell
high
us how you really
benchmark.
feel about them knuckleheads, dude. So, you
The
know.
knuckle No, that's not how I really feel. I can't use profanities on the Mike and Joe PDR shows.
No. I need to pick up a flat bar. Which one do you guys recommend? So, listen, this is very subjective. Okay. So, a lot of people, I have all of them. I have the Dent dial, I have the carry point, I have the Anaconda. And my latest one that I absolutely love is the A Better Repair. I feel like you got the all-in-one type of flat bar. So if you don't know what that one is, go to A Better Repair on Instagram. Take a look at that flat bar. It is legit, guys. It's an all-around one. I don't think you can go wrong with that one. Dent dial is very good too as well. So I'm not putting down any of them. Keep in mind, flat bars to me personally, this is my opinion, though, is that I believe that they're a lot like rods, dude. Right? Some have a little bit more purpose than others, right? So it depends on what you want to use it for. So, I know for truck beds and stuff, I use the Anaconda a lot because it's so freaking easy to set up, and it's strong, and it has all the accessories and attachments on there. So does the Better Repair. Dent down, well, you're gonna have to tinker with it. You're gonna have to build your own things, right? It's kind of like a connect system, and he wants you to go and get into that. And you could be very, very creative with the dent dial. So, if you're that type of guy, that tech, the dent dial might work for you. If you're a tech that's on the go, wants everything set up and easy to work with, well, either the Anaconda or a Better Repair flat bar is the way to go. So that, to answer your question in detail, that's subjective. So,
Yeah.
I bought a tripod. Oh, he's talking about those for the Mevos, dude. He bought those tripods that you recommended, Joe.
Cool.
So,
Right on, Jack. I hope you enjoy that.
and see, Glenn says dent dial. Okay. Any products you do for motorcycle fuel tanks? Yes. Ultra has probably some of the best motorcycle tank products, tools that you can use. The thicker gauge ones. Go look at the Daniel Grom in PDR tool set there. I highly recommend those tools. They have templates too to go in the tanks too to help you get that leverage on there. I'm going to be doing an updated kind of like 10 tools I use with a motorcycle tank, and it's definitely a very good tool tips and tools to use and the templates to go with it. So, but go check out Ultra Dent Tools. They have a very good selection in PDR tools.
Yes, absolutely, Matthew. Check out Ultra Dent Tools, like Mike just said, and do check out Mike's and motorcycle PDR videos, because Mike, you're super informative in those. You show a lot. You have that's like a hobby for you, isn't it? Like doing the motorcycle tanks. It's
It
like
is.
a
It is. I
passion.
don't get much traction on that, but I'm gonna hold on a second. I don't get much PDR like tech attention on that. I get a whole heck of a lot of retail attention. So that's what it's made for. But yeah, you're right, because the reason why is because I'm educating my client as much as possible to help them understand, right? Build
Yes.
the trust, right?
Yeah.
Building the trust with them. Or it makes sense to them, the more they feel, okay, I got the right guy. I'm going to go ahead and choose him. So
And where can Matthew go and check out those videos that you have, Mike? Where do you recommend? What social
right on,
media?
Glenn. I'm sorry, I didn't quite. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
But where can Matthew go and check out your motorcycle video motorcycle dent repair
you can
videos.
go to YouTube and go to the there's a category there for motorcycle tanks on my channel, and just watch those videos there. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Joe. So,
Sure.
I'm not understanding Matthew Phillips a little bit here. He's just a little bit different on his questions here. He said something, but not there. PDR Finesse has some MPDR rods now. Oh, they do, Joshua. Okay, cool. I'll have to take a look at those, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that, Joshua. Thanks for sharing that. That's what this show's about, man. You know, stuff we haven't seen yet, you know.
Hey, do us a favor, if you're on YouTube, Instagram, actually Facebook, or any of that stuff, don't forget to give it a like, comment if you like, and subscribe if you're on that channel as well. So then you get notified when this goes live. We generally do videos or podcasts every 2 weeks. So there you go. Also, I have a new announcement too as well. Just taking a little second here. I am actually creating a new Dent Trainer podcast. It'll be very visual. So occasionally Mario, I think he'll do one every 2 weeks, and he'll do one in Spanish. So if you are a Spanish speaking person who really rather prefer to listen in Spanish, we will have him host, and he will do it all in Spanish. Then I'll do mine in English. So, and it'll be visual. Sometimes we'll have completely different topics, but generally kind of following the same format. So look out for that. It is going to be Dent Trainer podcast, and super visual training, tools to look at and how to use them. Just kind of just to make sure. It's almost like a YouTube thing, but it's a little bit more intimate, just like this, right? So you can ask questions, do all that cool stuff. It's going to be live. So stay tuned for that, coming out in the middle of January. And we're going to have a PDR tool beginners seminar. So about purchasing tools, 5 essential tools that you need to purchase and why. It's 2023. So that might be something that you're interested in from ground level, and then we'll go from there. So that will be a completely free seminar. You will have to register to attend, but I think you'll like it. And that's going to be in January 21st, so a week before MTE. So there you go. Whew. Take a breath here, dude. Okay, thanks. They're watching from the United Kingdom. Oh, okay? UK. Cool. All right.
On. Thanks for joining.
What is it? Your turn, Joe?
Yes, sir. The third and final tool must-have, PDR tool must-have for 2023. This is under the custom tools category once again, just like the last one. Under Stanliner tools, or it doesn't have to be Stanliner. It could be any tool manufacturer who wants to make this tool, but I like the Stanliner triple bend tool. I sent you a video, Mike, of the standard Stanliner triple bend tool. If you want to show that video so they know what I'm talking about. I'm sure a lot of these guys do already and use basically that round part of the so that's what it looks like there.
Curve there. But I would like something small, and a smaller version of this in a hand tool, because that would be just a really clean push there on this Volvo XC90, instead of just getting behind it and poking it with a regular pokey PDR.
Yeah, I use a tool similar to that, Joe, like from Stanliner.
Yeah, which one? The fish hook?
So I think it would be
great. It's a little smaller. I'd like to see a smaller tools and a bigger diameter.
Triple
you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's just
yeah, I know what you mean.
That's just my take on that. You like that contact point too. Now you tape that tool because it's a little sharp, or
I used it. Okay, so that tape on there, it's Tessa tape, and that was from one of the last repairs I did. I can't remember what I was working on, but I needed some tape just to soften the blow. Also, and going back to videoing our dent repairs, I tend to show just one layer of tape on my tools often when I'm videoing, to keep people from, the customers that usually seek me out are pretty picky, and that I've been asked about, do you just go metal on metal contact? Because I don't know about, wanting it. They're afraid that it's going to scratch the inside of the panel, which it can, let's face it. And my reply is always, with sharp dents, sometimes I have no choice. I have to scratch the panel up. It's not the intention, but we're using sharp metal on metal, but then we'll coat the inside with either a cavity wax, or if we can get right behind it, a primer, a zinc primer, or even an e-coat. And I have all that stuff on the truck. But most of the time, I like to use thin layer of tape. But to answer your question, it's not necessary to use tape on there, and that tool pushes very cleanly without it, mind you.
Right.
And I would
That's
just love,
that's what I was wondering. So,
yeah, I would love to see Stanliner make that same tool, but in a smaller hand tool version, and maybe even a smaller diameter. I mean, the same wide diameter is nice, but a smaller diameter would allow it into a small opening, like the one on that XC90 Volvo door. So, and
yeah,
Josh,
I think that's the same. I do that. I'm the opposite of what you say too as well. I like the small hand tools Stanley has, but I'd like to have more thicker gauge on the shaft. So I just don't like flex as much. You know what I
more
mean?
power. It's more power with a thicker gauge, right?
Yeah. Joshua Joshua says A1 Danny Dent's Espinal tool would be good for that dent tool. Well, thanks a lot, Danny. I didn't freaking even know you had a tool like that, dude.
You know what? First of all, Joshua, you've been so helpful on this episode. I have written down the 3 items you've mentioned, including the Prism Hail Tab, the PDR Finesse motorcycle tools, apparently, that are available now, and now Danny Espinal's tool. And now that you mentioned it, I'm so glad we did the show, because now that's going to be my tool. I'm going to go and seek that one out.
What does it look like?
It looks like what I'm talking about, but it was so long ago that I saw it. And honestly, I would love to see, more promotion of this stuff, this kind of stuff, because I didn't know, I forgot about it, out of sight, out of mind. It's been like 2 years that Danny's had that tool out. But if I remember correctly, I think it's kind of along the lines of what we're describing here.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to check that out too as well. Hopefully, Anson stocks it, dude. I'll just get it from there. So, let's see. What about the new Dolly Tipa? I don't know what that is. What the heck is that? You know what the Dolly Tipa is, dude?
Maybe a Dolly tip. The Dolly Tipa is like a Zen monk from a Buddhist temple.
Yeah, Maka. How can we get a discount on tools that we purchase from the US? One way to get a purchase, if you're a Dent Trainer member, you will get a discount. So if you go to the tool discount page, you're a subscriber on Dent Trainer, you'll be able to get a tool discount. But other than that, I don't know. And you'd probably have to see if somebody could help you out on that, dude. From Australia, tools can be very expensive. Now, you probably, I think there's a tool distributor out there from Australia. So, but you do pay their overseas duties on top of your tools. So yeah, I don't think it's either way. It's going to be very cheap. So
it's a great question.
He's laying in. What's your advice, guys? So I've just mentioned that. Okay.
Yeah.
Tips.
That's a great question.
Dolly tip. So which one are you referring to, Glenn? Because there are a few good ones out there. Shoot, I have to think about that one because I can't remember off the top of my head. So Dent Reaper crease tabs. So everybody's saying Dent Reaper crease tabs, dude. So you mentioned that in the begining already. So
well, Joshua said Dent Reaper crease tips. So
tips.
Maybe.
The new Dolly. Yeah.
Is that called a Dolly tip?
Yeah, I guess you consider that. Yeah, it's the screw-on tips. So. Okay. Individual tips. I haven't had a chance to use them. I gave them away for our giveaway from John Vadine. So thank you, John. So I didn't get a chance to use them. They looked promising. They look like, well, let's just be honest with you. They look like almost like a Stanliner, its own tips. You know what I mean? But he has his own curvature and whatnot. So that's what it kind of looked like that. So
okay, yes. We're talking about for the end of the, like, to push with, not tap down tips.
No.
Okay. Yep. All right, I'm glad you guys brought that up because that does look promising as well, and they just
Well,
lock
we
in
can.
place.
What am I could probably pull it up right here.
So Yahya says there's not much of a variety. I think what he's saying is that's available in Australia. So he's got to outsource overseas. We're going to be doing Mike. I'll mention it now. We talked about. I spoke with Graham over at. He's in Britain. The Dent Detail PDR, and those guys. It's early morning right now, like 2 a.m. or something. So we're going to do a show in January, most likely, or
Okay.
maybe February, where we talk with those guys and we make it in their time frame. Because I'm interested in talking with them, Yahya, and you too as well. I think you're close to the same time zone, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe you can join us on there. We can talk about this stuff, including like where do guys overseas, across the pond get tools? What are great sources? And we're also going to be talking about value of PDR in our respective markets. And this myth that, again, I'm going on a tangent here, but this is for later on in that episode. We're going to talk about that myth that a lot of people think that you and I, Mike, we're in this market where everybody is rich and everybody just pays, dent time prices for everything. And that's just a huge myth, because 99% of the technicians out there for many years were charging fractions of what we were charging. We had to force that into our market. We had to change that price. But again, that's what the episode's going to be centered around. We'll talk about that when we're ready on that. But just to give you the heads up, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we have time to go into our other segments. We're going to keep that. I'm going to keep the other part that we thought we're going to go into. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting late. We were going to talk about some things that helped, changed basically our perception about what we were doing for PDR. And, it can get a little deeper on that part, because there's customers I encountered with that, there's a point where I didn't believe in myself, and there's things where they did more than I did. And it got me to another chapter in my industry. And, there's the beginning, I didn't know if I was going to do it or not. Some real deep things, like parents passing away, things like that, will make you do drugs, dude, and turn to alcohol or something worse, So I'm sure a lot of us, in our lifetime has dealt with something similar to that. And I hope none of us, unfortunately have to experience that, but there are times that way. But I think it has a lot to do with yourself and your how much you believe in yourself too as well. So I think that's a real strong point. We'll touch base on that on our next podcast. Okay. So I think that's something we can look forward in 2023. What do you think, Joe?
I love it. We'll expound on that at another time. So something to look forward to. So Mike, you have one more item. You haven't mentioned your third item. So.
Well, yeah, I real quick, I think everyone was mentioning this right here. So, well, some people were, and it's, if I can get a picture of that, it has that right there. So these are the tips that I was talking about that you can put on the end of your screw-on tips and tools, and then you can work that dent in a different direction, and it'll lock on there too as well. So pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to use them. I'm sure they do work similar to other tools that you're probably familiar with, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't need any other, the other brand because of these. I think these are intended to push a little bit different and just be more convenient in different positions. So that is what I think these are for. These are from Dent Reaper. So
nice. Nice. They're pretty.
My third tool. Gosh, I was like in a really, I didn't write it down. Honestly, I had it in my head, and then I was like, I don't know if I would, go with that. I don't know, man. I use a lot of tools, man. I almost confused myself, dude. Like I confused myself here.
It was
It
your
is so
topic.
hard to use tools now, dude, at the shop, dude. Okay, because I'm like, hmm, like, which one
Yeah.
do I pick?
You've got too many choices.
I have to say, man, there's a Stanliner tool that I just really, it's a hand tool that I use, but see, it's not most mentioned because you can't get it, right? And that's the only thing about Stanliner, you ladies and gentlemen, and that's why it's such a frenzy, and it works for him in his own benefit, that it causes a frenzy, because even his whale tails, he constantly makes the whale tails, but the only drawback about his whale tails is that, and it's like nothing against them, but they make the whale tail different every year. It's a different version, slightly different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I can't tell you, I think it's just subjective though, man.
yeah.
Gosh, what am I going to go for, man? There's a lot of freaking good tools, man. I don't know. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll continue that.
Well, why don't
I
you
wanted
do
to do
this?
my third one.
Why don't you mention one? Because here's the other part of that. Here's a problem: is that you and I have pretty much everything, and we've used everything, just about, and there's not much left. But so, what would you recommend our listeners, or our viewers, audience, have, generally speaking? Something a must-have for 2023. Is there anything? Maybe something that's been around for 10 years. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking and brand new.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, you know what? Probably the new Door Lord, dude. The new Door Lord tool.
Okay.
I mean, it's not new. It's been out for a couple years, I would say now. But the Door Lord blade tip, right? It's got a thicker shaft, no flex.
Power.
It's got power. If you pair that up with the Gorilla grip handle,
Okay.
there is no doubt that you're going to be using that tool every day. No doubt. So beginner, veteran, you don't have that tool. Good question, dude. That's the tool I would get right now. Okay.
Okay.
And if like I'm telling you, if you're a veteran, you don't have that, you're going to be wondering why you took you so long to have that tool, because you're really pushing out those dents with a lot more control, a lot cleaner, and it's fun, right? There's no more achy, you're limited to the tool that you have in your hand, and you're losing the leverage. And inside, because it's long, right? It's got a good kick to it. You're not having to twist as much now, right? So now it's almost allowing you to push and slightly twist because it's got so much kick to it. So I would get a set of those Door Lords if you have a chance. If you can't, just get the first one. So,
right on.
So at least somebody's on says on my wish list, right?
Mine too.
Door Lords are a game changer for sure. Okay. So, Den Zero says, Mike and Joe, what's your favorite car to work on? We'll leave it. We'll cut out to that one, dude. So what do you think? Right. What's your favorite one?
Oh man. One that comes right to mind right now. It was a 72 Volkswagen bus, of all things. What? And it was full of Bondo. It was full of Bondo, dude. But here's the deal. That metal is like butter. It just moves like you wouldn't believe. And it was reminiscent of Porsche metal, and German cars in general are, to answer your question, Bobby Z. I've had a lot of good luck with German cars. The metal just responds very well, and the paint too when it's original. What's yours, Mike? What's your favorite car?
My favorite car is probably is going to be a Chevy. Just all makes of Chevys.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. Because the orange peel is good, right? Okay. I can hide my bushes if I wanted to. It's just perfect. The metal works. It's not stupid. Now the new Chevys, Tahoes, and Suburbans and freaking late model GMCs now, and they're all freaking aluminum now, dude. Like the door panels are.
Yes.
So they're not as fun to work on,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
They're
But
tough.
the older Chevys were, the metal just worked. It wasn't soft like a beer can. It was just, when you pushed it, it pushed, right? And it didn't, corn roll on you or anything like that. So not too much sound deadening in there. But other than that, that was probably, I don't have a specific model, but I'm just going to say the Chevy models in general.
Okay. Right on, man.
Well,
good question, Bobby Z.
Yeah. Mine's all
Bobby,
Japanese cars. Yeah. I don't know, man. I did some hail on a freaking Honda Odyssey. It was the nightmare, dude. Like the roof was just, and they had ribbed roofs too. It had dents on there, dude. You made one push, man, like wrong push. It would just like do this to you. And it was just, oh gosh, dude. I had to go back and fix it twice, dude. So yeah, good.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, look at happy Vinny, man. Happy New Year, dog.
Happy New Year, Vince.
Man, Vinny used to be my neighbor practically in Cali. Yours too. I'm saying, dude. So,
I know. It's a shame.
I think about that dog, man. He ain't just a hop, skip, and a jump anymore, dude. But I do see him almost more times than I do when he was here.
Really?
That?
Yeah, that happens.
I'm in Texas a lot, dude, actually. So, yeah.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for all your comments. The worst metal I worked on was the Winnebagos. Oh gosh, yeah, I can imagine. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your comments here. If you haven't already, please give a like before we end the show, and let us know what you guys thought about the show. And hopefully, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Happy New Year, everybody! Please be safe. And then I forgot to mention, if you haven't already, go to mobiletechexpo.com. Don't forget to register. I believe it's the last weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in January. So it'll be in Orlando. So go check that out. We're going to have a ton of spectacle things. And I think, Joe, there's actually a newbie PDR Dent Olympics, dude. So
That's
I think
good.
if you're 2 years or newer, you can get in on it. So maybe I could be wrong in the 2 years or newer. Maybe it's a little longer, but I heard it's around 2 years. So
that's awesome.
Get in there. Don't get intimidated now. See what you can do. All right.
Get the new blood in there. And I think that that high pressure situation just makes diamonds, It really does. So.
Joshua, thanks a lot for your participation, man. Vicente there, if he's still there. Thank you again. Everybody who gave a shout out. Thank you guys again. And there's Ron, dude. I am actually, Ron. I'm sorry I didn't see your comment. I am going to be going to the Dent meetup. Maybe Joe, you're going to be going there?
I wasn't even aware of it, man. I was out of the loop. Yeah, maybe I'll be there. When is it?
January, the mid-January, dude. That weekend, mid-January.
Okay. That's not far from me at all. So I probably will be there. So.
I think it's $30 to get in, dude. Doesn't matter though. It's freaking cool. So I'll be there in support of Ultra, and hopefully we can do some lives out there, man. So all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Joe,
thank you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.